Dad, did you clock in today? I know we're running on a tight schedule of eternal passings, but you gotta clock in.
Yes, Cheryl, for the second time today I did. Check the fax report I left you on your desk. It probably got mixed up with all the new patient files for this afternoon. How many do we have left today?
Oh, don't you seem so excited. With all the near-death experiences I've given some of our patients today, I thought you'd be happy.
Cheryl, not right now. I've been waiting all week for 1 hour off from my patients. You know how it goes, so many deaths in so little time. Plus, you didn't even give me my Jell-O from the fridge on Wednesday.
You couldn't have walked the 25 feet to go get it yourself?
Unacceptable, Cheryl, truly. And I thought you were Purgatory's finest secretary. At least that's what it says on your business card.
You know what, Dad? What?
Are you two quite done with your bickering?
We're on a lunch break, honey. Could you come back after... Oh, geez, let me grab the door for you.
Don't forget my Jell-O today, Cheryl.
Hey, now, what kind of place is this? I was just doing an interview with...
An interview, like a reporter?
Well, yes, I'm an intern, so I have to do whatever my boss tells me to do, but what's the dealio here?
I will do the questions this time, miss. Take a seat, please. What's your name? Where are you from?
I'm Rose from Chicago. I'm a journalist from Chicago, the city that never stops buzzing. And you?
You may refer to me as Death, but for God's sake, take the damn seat. You're making me worried to death with all of your standing.
Death, huh? Well, you're a strange one.
What was that?
Nothing.
I'm a believer in philosophy and reason, Rose. I talk with my patients and anyone who seems to be knocking anxiously on my door. I'm here to help you figure out you.
So you're kind of like one of those wacky Freudian believers.
I appreciate the parallel, but I tend to be a bit more concise. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. Just relax and tell me, do you like your job?
Oh, I'm glad you asked. This week I have 4 more jobs lined up. I'm taking place on a trip down south for a union workshop, and I'm going to North Dakota and Minnesota. I get to see my daughter. I'm meeting the new governor. And
okay, you said, slow down. I appreciate the enthusiasm, but let's move on from that. Who works with you? You have a kid?
Oh, yes, Ashley. She's 8, and she's the ray of hope that makes my life's work all worth it.
Okay, you said get to. Does this mean you don't see your child often?
Well, getting out in the streets and getting the dirt on a new murder every day is exhilarating, but exhausting. Did you know that the murder rates in this city have doubled in the last 20 years?
So you really don't have the time to kill?
I'm a reporter, and a busy one at that. Now, if you wouldn't mind, I have a few questions of my own.
I don't have time for this.
Oh, come on. You've got to have some juicy info on the city, or maybe an odd story or two.
Rose, I don't like to get upset with my patients, so please let's continue before you kill my patients.
I will not until you answer one question.
Fine. What?
All right, so how much does one get paid in your line of work?
Enough for I'd be able to pay the debt-riching tuition of a student at a private college in 2017, all pocket change. But I'm not a person of greed, Rose, just a simple questioner. But back to my request.
Fair is fair. Out with it.
Is there anything else you're missing out on in life or wish you could redo?
Oh, please. I have my bills. I have my stories. What could I be missing?
Are you sure you have everything you need?
What else could I be missing?
But, Rose, what about that daughter of yours?
Ashley? Oh, she's fine. She has her nanny and her friends on floor 12 to play with.
What about you? Are you fine with this?
Why wouldn't I be?
Rose, you didn't answer my question. In fact, you skipped it. With all these journeys, trips, and time spent without your family, are you fine with this? When was the last time you had time to see little Ashley?
The only thing that gets to me every time I go away is I worry if she'll be all right or if something bad will happen to her. Being a single parent and the breadwinner in my time is nearly unthinkable, but somebody has to do it. I have to do it.
What about you? How do you feel?
Well, awake, I guess.
How so? Talking about Ashley?
Well, yes, but even when you're doing something you love and you're doing it for someone you love, you still get caught up in this endless cycle of bills and work in the big city, and I guess we all forget about the little pleasures in life sometimes and the reason we're fighting this battle in the first place.
Interesting. Is there anything else you wish you could go back and see, Rose?
What are you talking about? As soon as I walk out of this office, I'm going to Ashley's birthday. I'm going to see her little smile blowing out those candles and making her wish.
Well, Rose...
As a parent, providing for your daughter doesn't just mean doing the work and making the money. It's about being there for your child. I'm going back to Ashley.
Rose, sometimes there aren't any more second chances. We run out.
Well, what are you talking about?
Where are you right now?
I'm in your office. Where else would I be?
How did you get here?
I don't know, it's fuzzy. I can't remember.
Think, Rose. Take a breath, clear your mind, relax. What was the last thing you remember?
I was on my way home, and we were stopped, and I got out, and then,
Then what, Rose?
a sharp pain, a flash of, where am I? What's going on here? I don't understand.
Rose Elizabeth Jones, shot in the head and fatally bled out 1 mile away from her home. Suspects draw leads towards the murder she was telling with the Chicago police.
What? No. What are you talking about?
You're dead, Rose.
No, I'm here now, aren't I?
Her last words were, "I'm sorry your wish couldn't come true."
But no, Ashley.
Be proud of your life, Rose, and move on in peace. You lived with regret in your heart all your life, but you can finally let that regret free.
I'm sorry, Ashley.
Next. So, tell me, Phil, you're an educator, right? You don't seem to fit the part, at least in the dress code section.
Ha! I see you're talking about this beautiful silk that I acquired from my long walk from France to Scotland.
I see you've got a lot on your plate, but come on, a toga?
It's an expression of oneself in character, Dad.
I just mean it's a little...
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I offend you? You and your perfectly powerful stature?
Dad, offended? Never.
Oh, hello. Who's this? I don't know, maybe you're a personal slave who does all of this tyrannical writing for this corrupt office that you run?
That's...
We're supposed to be beyond this time and system. Come on, Dad.
That's not the case at all.
I'm sorry. I guess it just depends on the context.
I like him.
I was happy I could make someone laugh.
Wow, Dad, you should take some notes. And you forgot to turn in your facts report today. So here's your tardy work. Also, I'm deducting 20 minutes off of your lunch break. Sorry, not sorry.
Wow. Who's in charge here? You know, with your power and stature, I thought it'd just be you of all people, Dad.
I'm honestly feeling so attacked right now.
I'm sorry. I just really love to push the ideals of people I meet. You see, there's this little devil on my shoulder who just loves it when I watch people suffer internally. It's my love-hate, sadistic relationship with people.
I just wanted to get these interviews done, get my jello, catch some C's, and move on with my day.
Okay. I think we're just getting a bit too worked up here, so, I think we just need to take a deep breath. Just, come on, just stand and breathe. In and out.
And here I thought clowns are supposed to be jolly.
What are you talking about? What do you mean?
Your file says you were a clown before an educator, were you not? The ringleader.
Nonsense. Who told you this? Where did you hear this?
Jeez, it's on the internet, Phil. I just thought it would be a nice segue, so don't honk your nose at me.
I wouldn't dream of it. Benson. Where were we?
Well, your report also says you were nominated for Professor of the Year in 2015, and you even have a day named after you.
Ah, yes. 2015, November 19th, Dr. Philadelphia Day. But hopefully it'll be a federally recognized day.
Philadamo Day.
Dr. Philadelphia.
Interesting. Tell me about your classes, Phil.
Yes. The famine in the 30s. I just love it when students get into character. But wait until I get to the medieval era. That's where I really have some stellar advice. But, where were we?
I have to ask you, June, what are your hobbies?
Why, I love the thrill of hosting parties at my family's grand estate. Why, just last weekend we had a masquerade ball in the courtyard.
Well, my, how grand can these parties get?
Well, I'm the talk of the street on my side of New York. I'm offended you haven't heard of us.
What are you, some kind of Great Gatsby?
Oh, great is far beneath our stature, Death. We have a system in our household that corrects all who enter.
Again, June, I'm not a mister like those who visit your estate. In fact, you're my guest now, so just sit back and relax.
I'm as happy as a clown, truly.
Then tell me about this ability you have to correct people.
Well, first we lure people into our home by the promise of alcohol, the only thing that brings people in during this dry age.
So you disobey the laws of the city.
I wouldn't say disobey, more like we found a loophole in the legal system. My family is protected by the police, so we're able to enjoy the simple urges of life right under their noses.
You're all that desperate to drench your lips with the craving of alcohol.
Not all of us are seduced by the devil's piss, but yes, we make it. It's all part of the enjoyment when we see our special guests' transformations.
You're part of the infamous Blair household, are you not?
So you have heard of us. That's wonderful.
June, that's not the point. With a family who has so much power and wealth, anything you can dream of is possible.
But of course, what would life be without the invention to make us a better people, a better, greater America?
June, what do you do to your special guests?
Why, I only do what's deemed worthy in the eyes of God.
What kind of God gets enjoyment from seeing some person being tortured, June?
Why, a God that sees that there's a God that we all follow and pray to. A God that sees there's a need of cleansing of all men who flaunt around this city, never wiping the stains from their dirty hearts.
How do you deem who's to be punished?
The drunks, the lusty lovers, the womanizers, all the sinners of this soon-to-be clean nation, all those who oppress others in their wake to fill their greedy desires.
Why are you the ones who get to punish these criminals rather than just show them to the police?
While the police are out there busting the poor families just to get a few bucks in their pockets, I'm taking the judgment of God into my own hands. We're deliverers of his wrath, and it feels so good, Death. It's
Silence, I've heard enough.
That's quite rude of you, Death. I'll have you know.
One who takes lustful pride in watching others burned, stabbed, and murdered by your bloody hands has no right to claim justice in the name of any god.
Well, if this God's displeased with our work, I'll simply find a new God to look towards.
You're trying to be a savior, a saint, but you're twisting your actions the wrong way, Jude. Your approach is all wrong. No one, anyone, has the power to decide the fate of others. It's just too much to have in one mortal hand.
Then, Death, what's the difference between you and me?
I'm not a monster.
Almighty God of Death!
Great, I haven't heard that name in a long time.
Oh, surely I haven't upset thy lordly stature, have I?
No, it's not that. You just don't understand. None of the outrageously faithful do. Let me guess, you already know you're dead.
Well, you must be a god, surely, or I wouldn't be Angus McGregor III.
Angus, sometimes your faith makes you stupid and too gullible. Just take a seat and shut up, okay?
It's stupid? Gullible? Why? You...
Look, you're dead, okay? And if you don't sit down and tell me about yourself, I'm going to get very angry.
Ye angry? Why, you're a wee toothpick to me, you pajama-wearing oaf.
Just, look, I'm gonna make a quick call, okay?
Call it on who? Your me, ma? Well, I'm sure she had to make a call when you were born. Excuse me, barmaid, I'm afraid you brought me the wrong offspring.
Hello? Who else do you think this is, Cheryl? Yes, he's not even understandable. Look, I know PR is gonna kill me, but I want my job. Why? I don't know. How do snowplow drivers get to work in the morning? I mean, yes, bring me my... No, don't you dare, Cheryl. Cheryl? Damn it. Why did she have to throw away my orange mango jello?
I mean, me, ma. I wouldn't ride her to battle. I mean, she gave birth to you. Like, look at this face like a scalp terrace. I mean, a bam pot. You're probably just a jakey.
Are you quite done with your gibberish, Mr. Highlands?
I'm just getting started. You sit on a throne of lies. You smell like beef.
It's just gonna be one of those patients again. Okay. Hello, do you know why you're here, Connor?
Well, I'm sure it's to be interviewed by your lordly presence, is it not, Dad?
Yes, don't worry, there won't be any judgments, just questions. What's the last thing you remember before arriving at my door?
Well, let's see. I was in the hospital, surrounded by my family. I believe the doctor had just brought back some test results.
Were you there getting cured or treated?
I don't think cured is the right word. I lived a long and healthy life. They were merely trying to extend it.
Do you have diabetes, high blood pressure, a heart attack?
I think all of the above, Death. I may not look like it, but I survived these things through my hardy nature.
How so?
Death, I was a social worker, and I lived to inspire people to have a better life. After all was said and done, I guess it makes sense that I wound up here.
Right at my doorstep. So you figured it all out.
I'm dead, am I not, Death?
Yes, Connor, you've breathed your last. You may feel even younger or out of pain now, too. But tell me, how was your life? Was it good or bad?
I have no complaint for you, Death, but if you don't mind, I do have a question.
I'm dying to hear it.
Aren't all lives filled with ups and downs?
What do you mean?
Everybody has their own path in life. Well, values they cherish, choices they make to live by.
Please explain, I'm a bit confused.
When I was a social worker, I would work to inspire people to have a better life. But what I would notice is that people with drastically different personality types would have different outcomes in their lives.
But you can't just change the path of someone else's life.
Oh, but you can, Death. With inspiration, my patients would change their path of life forever. For some, it was unfair, and for others, it was normal.
But what about the others who didn't or couldn't reform their lives? What then?
We all have our own path in life. Those that lived under the oppression of an unfair life would one day sober up and want to change that too.
Connor, what about your life and its personal failures?
My life, like all lives, had its ups and downs.
How did you deal with these struggles, Connor?
I guess I had to face them with courage and accept them.
And it seems you've done that.
I'm only human, Death. I live to fail and adapt.
It seems you've made peace with your fate. Your family may be mourning, but...
They'll forgive me and move on, just like I did. After all, I lived my life as an example for others to follow.
Connor, you've truly made my day with your talk. You already know what's ahead, but you know that I know you can handle it. Come now, Connor. Death's waiting.
So, how was today's lineup?
You know, Cheryl, it was quite the adventure today.
Huh. Kind of like this Jello here. You never know who's gonna walk through that door. I mean, you freaking called me at 3 during a meeting.
Yeah, I know, you know, Cheryl, today was rough, odd, but most of all, educational. I think I gained a bit more faith in humanity today.
Are you kidding me? It's about time you showed some more sympathy.
Don't get on your high horse. I just mean that I really feel like I was able to connect with some of the people today, you know, learning about their stories and to learn about their emotions before their terrible or dreadful decisions was eye-opening.
Death? Are you okay?
Yes, Cheryl. I just mean that even though they all had different lives, they're human. Eventually, they'll learn from the mistakes they made in life and come to peace with themselves at their end.
Well, what are you gonna do now that your mind's been adjusted, Death?
I'll put on some earmuffs, sit back in this chair, and close my eyes and wait until the next soul wanders into my office. The way it'll always be, Cheryl.